Welcome. We're here with Nalani, who went on the Peru program with SIT. Welcome, Nalani.
Thanks for having me.
Great. So can you tell us a bit about your experience on the program?
Yeah, definitely. So, in the program, I really didn't know what to expect going in. All I knew was that we were going to have an experiential learning emphasis and that there was going to be the ISP period at the end. And that's really what I signed up for. So, going into the program, I didn't really know what to expect. And when I got there, I was completely surprised to encounter such an established place. That was actually something that was really important to me, was the fact that there was a physical space associated with the program, and in that there was a lot of security and a lot of stability and a lot of support, and especially from the program directors, Alex and Millie, because they were the ones who really ensured that we felt included in that space, and made sure that wherever we went, we knew that we had that kind of connection, and that connection transcended wherever we were. But it was so great being able to go into such a structured program. Um, the program itself lasted for a little over 3 months, and it really flew by. We were all super surprised by the time that it ended. And yet the amount that passed during that time was extreme, because it was so highly formative, and every day was something new and every day was something exciting, because there was nothing about it that was routine. And so in that sense, it was one of the most incredible experiences of my life, getting to experience something in such a unique way. Um, yeah.
And tell us about the homestay experience.
The homestay experience was a huge part of improving my language ability, definitely, and in gaining insight into what social family structures look like, because you don't just get your homestay family, you get their family and you get their friends and you get their whole social network. And so my homestay family was a 3 generational family that all lived in the same building. And so I got to hang out with my host mother, who was a grandmother, and I got to hang out with her children, who were like 30 and all had kids. And then I got to hang out with the kids, who ranged from ages 16 to 1. So I got a really huge variety of people and perspectives. And everybody had such strong perspectives on Peru in general, and especially in Indigenous culture and globalization, because, they're living the lives of people who are exposed to all of these issues daily, because these are realities to a lot of the people in Peru. And it was really great getting to be in a family setting, again, for that stability, but also to have somebody you can ask questions to, who is going to look out for you and take care of you, especially when everything is just so new. And I got really, really lucky with my host family, because they'd had students before and they loved having students. So they were very curious and asked a lot of questions. And there was a lot of exchange and interchange going on during my stay. Yeah.
And tell us about your independent research project.
It was so great. I studied the livestock in the high plains of Peru. And I'm an anthropology major, so I looked at it from an ethnographic standpoint, how cultural values of livestock have changed since the introduction of Spanish livestock, so cattle and sheep, and how that kind of replaced or shifted the value system that was traditionally used for alpaca and llama. So I got to go to this tiny town called Pucara, and I got to stay on a cattle ranch, and I got to live with an alpaca farmer, and I got to herd alpaca and milk cows, and I got to talk to people about their experiences in living with these animals and their relationships with these animals, and how they perceive them, and how they socially have to adapt to make money. and the different environmental and economic impacts of those shifts. But it was really incredible to get that experience, especially in such a small town that I would have never visited on my own, and then having the opportunity to really um, talk to people and to feel as if I was incorporated in the town a little bit. It was funny because I was the only gringo there at the time, and so everybody knew, because the town was so small, everybody knew who I was and that I was there. So people would come up to me and talk to me on the town, and I'd never had that experience before, but it was a really cool way to see a different side of Peru, definitely, and to learn about something I never thought I would have learned about. But that's kind of the cool thing about the ISP, is that the subject, every subject that every student did was so unique, and it was something that we all encountered individually. And that was a really cool experience. Yeah.
What would you take away from that experience into your future life?
Well, directly from the ISP period, I actually am going to try and do more research, supplementary research on livestock in Peru, hopefully after graduation. But I, I definitely have a better understanding of what it takes to go somewhere and try and learn something in a very general sense, because it really takes a lot of, you can know things and you can study things, but until you actually go there and have to start talking to people about it, it doesn't become real. And so, when I see cattle here, and I see how much milk we produce here and how much cheese we have, and like all these different things that people in Pucará would ask me about, it's so baffling to look at a carton of milk and think about how much effort it takes to make that, and knowing that what it looks like here is just something really surreal, because of the amount of industry that we have. So everything's very comparative now, I guess, is the overarching sentiment that I carry from the ISP.
Great. And what would you say makes SIT unique? I feel like you've covered this, but if you haven't.
Well, I think, a lot of my friends did programs from my school, and they had amazing times, obviously, but really what I loved about it was the fact that I got to meet students from all over. Um, I'm actually going backpacking with one of my friends from the program for spring break, and we all have our group meet, and just the fact that we have perspectives from all over, that we have students from all over, and that we really shared that time in in that space in a really, really unique way, made it very special. And having that support and that group network, that was just, it was so amazing, because none of us knew each other beforehand. And that really enabled us to, I think, to develop together, because we didn't have pre-existing relationships. And then obviously the ISP period and the experiential learning were paramount in the uniqueness of SIT. But it's really about the people. The people are special, for sure.
Great. Is there anything else you want to mention, or do you feel like you've covered it all?
I think that I've pretty much covered, I mean, I could talk about SIT for forever, and I do. But my huge takeaway is just that it really is a unique way of experiencing studying abroad. And I'm so, so glad that I did it. So, yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.